Alright. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the entire series. I'm actually the most familiar with one. At least playing it wise. I've seen a Let's Play of 2. I can kinda remember 3. And I also saw the Let's Play of the Virtual Boy game. 4 is the one I have virtually no, recollection of. And then Shake It, I basically have nothing. Huh. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played Wario Land 1. You know what? Actually, I know what I can do about that thing. Yeah, I kind of forgot Master of the Skies even existed. Here, you know what? For being early. Okay, let's see, what does this do? Okay, that's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I pressed the button specifically. Also it's great because it's causing my computer to chug. I'm gonna close that out. Okay. I got rid of it, so it's like I'm not even gonna click on it again, because I think I accidentally activated it. I really do not care. Also, they're only offering Dauntless stuff. Who cares about Dauntless? Like, no offense to people who play Dauntless, but come on. And then what's also great about the chess thing is that it's getting in the way of stuff. Like, the stuff that I need to see. God, I love the farty nature of this game's soundtrack. Yeah, it is. Alright. Oh, one sec. Alright. Sorry, I had to mute my mic because there was a flyover going over my house, and I didn't want that to be picked up. Okay, so. Hello, and welcome to a Sunday edition of Retro Inc. Rhapsody. Today we're looking at a game that really didn't have a theme. It was just voted on for us to take a look at. And yeah, this is a game that I know maybe not this one, but it's the first in a series that people kind of hold in well regard. I mean, it is a Nintendo game, so it's fitting that it be held in high regard. But particularly this series in general, because it does some interesting stuff with the Mario franchise. We're not taking a look at a Mario game. We're taking a look at a Wario game. We're taking a look at Wario Land 1, which I guess is Super Mario Land 3. It's kind of a Yoshi's Island, technically being Mario World 2. But anyway, let's just go ahead and start. I really don't have much to say about it other than it's Wario Land. It stars Wario, the main antagonist from the last game. Or the last, I should say, Super Mario Land 2. There's a pirate. Also, I'm gonna be a little loud. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot Mario World itself was considered Mario Bros. 4. Yes. In 1993. So pretty shortly after, I believe, 2. Go and start. And there we have a brief little a brief little glimpse into his main ability. I can't remember if Jurassic Park... Jurassic Park might have just came out, I think? Also, here's the first area of Rice Beach. Yeah. Okay. So, it is, for all intents and purposes, a very Mario-ish kind of game, but with some changes. Namely, Wario can shoulder check. Also, your coins are more of a kind of a currency than a traditional, Mario coin thing. That's what the hearts are for. You get a heart for killing, one heart for killing every enemy, unless you pick up a thing in which you get 10. Also, you have almost a Super Mario Bros. 2 kind of thing, where you can jump on enemies and then pick them up. Also, the blocks, when the blocks you haven't hit them yet, they kind of look like Discoon. And then they get very intense. Oop, come on. Oh, I guess whatever. It's over there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just have to shoulder check them. And yes, Wario has mini hats. This is the bull. A bull which I think makes his charge a little better, but also, main thing it does is this. Lets him crush. Also, there's a slight exploration element of this game. Like, as we'll see, there's actually a... not quite Metroidvania-ish kind of thing, but an incentive to go and do things in a particular way. Also, I screwed up the blocks in a way that I couldn't get out, so I had to go circle around. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this game seems to have quite a few invisible blocks. Also, I believe, yeah, if you get a hat that you already have, it basically just counts as a heart pickup. You'll get 10 hearts. And 100 hearts gets you an extra life. And I think, yeah, we can't do anything there quite yet. Okay, Shizzle. No, we need don't know what you'd call it. And here we actually get introduced to a kind of a big mechanic, which is you can hold up and B, summon a coin, and throw it. And if you put it in those coin doors, I believe if you have enough coins, you will, you can potentially open up a hidden path. And after every level, you have a choice to play either a coin or heart game. Let's play a coin game. So this is essentially... Oh, that didn't happen. So this is essentially high card, low card. In terms of, at least mechanically. I'll double. Yep, we gotta finish the board. And then once we finish the boss, then we will, be able to swim across that. There. It only lets you do 3. And yeah, you see though that A through O? Those are treasure spots. So there are, I guess 20, well, no. 15 treasures that you can find. I think that's 15. Okay. And yeah, our total coins go into a little total, like a tally. The fun thing is that if I remember correct from watching an LP of this, the amount of coins you get in that tally actually speeds up the little animation that Wario does when he walks around, when he walks across the thing at the end. So let's probably get across that. Screwed on that, or no? I can just do this. Oh. That's the thing. You have a very shallow jump if you just barely tap it. You barely jump at all. And also, here's another hat. It's a dragon hat. That's a Street Fighter. I don't think you can dash jump. And yeah, I can't exactly remember where any of the treasures are, so I'm sure that we'll find at least a couple of them. Whoop, I don't want to do that. Actually, I could have showed that off, but basically this does kind of work a little bit on Mario, and yes, you can breathe fire underwater. But it works on Mario logic of you get a hat, you take a hit, you turn to small, like this. And then you get hit again, and you, die. And yes, that's actually a, if you're more familiar with, oh, that's just his head. So yeah, fold up B. I guess did I not have enough, or... Oh, it's a checkpoint. Ah, okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, by the way, one other thing you can do is summon a coin and you can use it as a weapon. And you can actually use it as a shield, too. Again, you can step... you can step on these platforms anytime except for when it's the least transparent. Right, do that. sure, let's get the dragon head. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that it does kind of suck. Then... Okay. Yep, that's that. Oh, that's for the heart game. Oh. Okay, I guess we can't. Let's forget it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is a quicksand. Anyone? No. Yeah, it's like the Red Knight in Wizards Warrior, except this is a much better game. This one you have to tap it really fast. Come on. There we go. You know, if I could hold it down and just continuously do fire, it would be a lot better than just this weird, like, tap it once and it's on for a certain amount of time. Ah, I see something down there. Ow! Oh, is this new hat? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Go back and see if we can get some more coins. Let's not do that. Also, the bull charge also is better because it lets me get more coins. That's just a checkpoint. That seems like something that'd be in the Virtual Boy game. Okay, now I just gotta check. Yeah. Nope. We're gonna see. I think I saw a long play and that took about 2.5 hours, so... So that was my plan. Whether or not we actually do that is going to be up to the fact to see if how easy this game is. Oh, come on. That is annoying. Come on, there we go. Okay, so... Looks like if I had a different thing, I could go and continue on. Let's do this again. Yep. Okay, and it does show, because I was wondering if it does show if there is a, like a hidden something or other. Being chased. like the red dots. That's gonna be... Oh, do I have to wait? But yeah, let me guess. Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, that's just straight up instant death. Yep. Wario looks very uncomfortable there. Those look like Drakis from Dragon Quest. Up, and that's the bull charge, right? Yep. Oop, that's... Okay, I gotta time this out better. Like that. Oop. That just sucks, so... Matter. Oops! Okay, those things have a very tall hit, like... Okay, so I can't... I guess they just... Oh yeah, because I suppose you could go through... Yeah, if you don't have enough coins, that's just straight up you have to die. Okay, there we go. Oh. Yeah, that is a... Oh, I didn't realize you could charge in the air. Up, and that... Does in fact bounce... Nope, that's not gonna work. Be patient. Go. I will get every single coin I possibly can. Such is the nature of Wario. Oh, okay. That. Speed. Oop. I don't know if it's just my Kirby instinct kicking in, but this seems like something, like a door would be hidden behind these. Speak of the devil! Is there... Got here. Get up there. There. Up, up! Come on! There we go. Oop. Okay, so it's... Oop, nope, nope, nope. That's what I meant to do. Oop, come on. Okay, so this is essentially a Koopaling fight from 3. But like a much more elaborate one. Is this even hurting him? Okay. Oh. Oh, do I have to be from the front? Oh, there we go. I get it now? Yep. Oh, that's a... Okay, I can't just do the shallow passes. I gotta actually go a little distance. Kinda wish this little bit was a little bit faster. Correction. Go. Yeah, that is just straight up the noise that a Metroid would make in Metroid 2. I can get behind that. That was a good noise. There we go. It is. Oh! Okay, let's... Oh, okay, it does max out at 999. Alright. So let's actually go back. The first level. So now, there's water everywhere. Yep, that's what it sounds like. This really doesn't serve us any purpose, but might as well get what we can. Oh, it's a halted swim. That's nice. I'm so used to every single other Mario game requiring... Let's see, can I do this? There we go. I forgot, I keep on forgetting I actually had that slow motion button. There we go. I like the fact that the water cuts that, one coin out. Okay, I think it's here? It's just weird to see that in a, like a Mario game. Don't want that. That's a big one. The huge heart, which is a 3-up. We have to pay for the door, though. Okay, let's see if we can actually, get this secret exit now. Oh, interesting. Oh, guess you can't swim underneath that. Okay, and now we've unlocked that. I see things in the ground. Oh. Oh. That was hard. Oh, right, these. Well, let's give them some more money. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to get that thing. Okay, it's not a... Am I missing something? Like, can I even get that? Is the key on this level? Okay. I don't think it is. Yeah, I might need to get... Yeah, I'm thinking I might need to get, Dragon Block. Okay. It's just a full charge. I think I might need to restart the level. There's one right here. Sure isn't. Oh, you just straight up can't? Okay, that's interesting. You can't even go in the normal exit now. One more time. Huh. We're going, I think, in here. Yes. Is a French horn? Okay. Oh, right. Oh, I guess it just has it if it's... Wait. Oh, okay. That's weird. Anyway. Finally moving on. Go. Oh. Come on. Go right. There we go. Oh. Come on. There we go. Oh, new hat. Is this the... Oh, it's... Jet hat.
I know there's one level where you want to have this hat, like, absolutely.
This seems like a very much a... Yes, that kind of hat. Momentum feels a little weird. That looked like a thing that would be there. Okay, it's just I think that's a... Yeah, that's just a checkpoint. Wait. Oh, looks like you just move faster in general with this. But this one has two exits. I don't know, just embed the bomb in the ceiling.
As you do.
Okay, this is just a checkpoint, yep. Probably should not need to check those, because I... Oh, there's the bomb again. I think that's the second game in 2 days that have involved some sort of pelican dropping bombs.
It's almost like pelicans are assholes.
Just with the way that those that ceiling is drawn, I keep on feeling like it's going to be spikes.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're kind of conditioned at this point. Anything pointy is danger. More like danger, danger, high puncture.
Ah! Okay, so... now that I know that... Okay. What?
Oh, yeah, this is the place. I don't know if it's this level or not, but it's definitely this zone. You want that jet hat for one of these levels.
Huh.
So there's a lot of platforming with bottomless pits. And the jet hat just completely makes it all arbitrary, I guess?
Guess just easy. Oh. Why would I get that?
It's a very unfortunate looking bottle.
Oh, right, it's open.
I was wondering how long it's going to take you to recognize that. Little hedgehogs.
Yep. Look at Kirby enemy. Where did you... I have to go back a little bit, but there it is. This is some pretty sinister music. Okay, so that was pointless.
Look how lazy that duck is. It's just like, yeah, alright, go throw him a boomerang at you. I don't even know why I'm here.
I see.
All the pieces are coming together.
And... a shield? Yeah, it definitely looks like I missed some, but I also skipped a world, it seems like. Nope, that doesn't help. Nope, that's just a checkpoint. That's probably a secret exit. Nope. Oh, huh. Let's see. Where's the secret exit? Thank you for the follow. Above that block. Okay, here's the thing. There's a 10-second delay between your post and mine, so you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific on what kind of area you're talking about.
That, you know, that one block. I think there,
Shut
maybe?
up. Don't encourage them. Oh! Oh. That is very dumb.
Yeah. No, I've had that a couple times. He's like, where I was supposed to go. Oh, yeah, it's past that one tree. Like, no. No, there's 10 seconds delay. Gotta be super specific.
Okay, there we go. And let's do this, just for funsies.
It always looks like a face to me.
It looks like Australia.
Yeah, we're tracking completely different thoughts here.
Oh good, another treasure. Please give me a jetpack.
Okay, but what if you got more horns?
I mean, it's better than dragons, so...
We could give you more horns. Also, ice physics, yay!
Go. Oop, no. No, I do not. Oh. Okay. I have a feeling that just is gonna happen in general. Because I'm gonna just try and see if I can beat this. Hey, rejects. Oh, it just opened, I guess. Huh. Oh, huh. Nope, let's try that again. I find it funny that you just, if you, like, bump them with your head, that it stuns them. Those one sticks look kind of weird.
I hate when I go into frozen waters and I get besieged by floating wooden spikes.
Stakes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, I'm just here for the treasure. You don't need to. I'm not a vampire, you know.
Also, you couldn't think of another material other than, like, wood.
Right, yeah.
And water.
Especially like ice, like wood and ice. Metal. Metal's the way to go.
Or be very efficient and use ice itself.
Yeah, exactly. What if ice, but spiky?
Man, now it's gonna bug me. What's the name of that material that you can create by doing, like, paper and ice?
Paper mache.
Not paper mache.
Paper and ice?
There was a Mythbusters episode on it. It had, like, a very specific name. Not spinal. Can I just skip this? Okay.
Pycrete?
Pycrete, yes.
Oh! That heart didn't really appear too well.
Yep. Okay, well, let's go back to try and get...
So, bag of magic food. I have a few words to say about that.
What's spinal?
No, the moistening their giant pencil.
Oh.
I didn't even notice it until just now. Look how smug those pelicans are, too.
And I'm just getting the idea. What is the feeling sensation of, like, lubing up a pencil and trying to write with it?
Why? And how do we define that? Are we just talking putting some water on it? Or are you talking straight up
Finding
throwing some KY?
No, well, it doesn't have to. It's some sort of some sort of substance to lubricate the head of a pencil.
Why would you do that, though?
I don't know. That's like some, like, speed-running writing shit.
But no...
I don't think it will work because it would, you know...
No.
It would ruin the contact with the paper, but...
I mean, you can't just toss some Astroglide on a pencil and suddenly you've finished War and Peace in 2 days, you know? That's not how it works.
And yes. I mean... Yes, some way to reduce the friction on a pencil.
Well, no, because the friction is what makes the graphite go on. You reduce the friction and it's not writing shit.
Yeah, we actually did that area first. There we go. Okay, let's see. That's just that. Go. Let's say for a second, did we go backwards? But it just happened to be a very similar looking area. Ooh.
Wario just notes right out of that room. Not ready for that one yet.
Well, I have a key that I need to find its owner.
I wanted to, I'm trying to remember this one, because part of me, my heart is saying that it's hidden. And I wanted to say it was in that other room you were just in, but...
Like the tall one?
Hold on. Maybe it's over here? Up there, on that ledge? No. Yeah, keep going down. Like, you ever have something that's just, it's in your head? Zombie. But, it's just like, you know it. Oh my god, I'm getting like cranberry references now. It just lingers right in your head, like you know something, but you can't put it to words.
Oh, okay, sure.
So that's not it. That's the exit. Okay. God, I want to say it's definitely hidden, and I'm pretty sure it's an invisible block somewhere. Okay, so that block on your right...
Huh?
Is that farthest right block? Try jumping from that up.
Nope.
Damn it.
There. Well, that's something else. This was just the checkpoint. Camera doesn't scroll, so... Learned that last time.
I think it's on one of these platforms. You just jump straight up or something, like a high jump.
Something about... The way this is positioned is throwing me off. Nope. Okay, there's something about this being obscured. Something in my heart of hearts telling me that there's something obscured by like a foreground object or something. Whoop, nope, don't. Whoop. Head back to the left, you will see 3 platforms within the waterfall. For the top platform and on there, it's indoor
So it's
somewhere.
those... I think it's those 3 platforms I've been talking about, so keep going to your left. I could swear it's something to do with those 3.
Okay. I'm actually trying on reading. I just read the first sentence because I I am actually kind of curious. Okay, 3.
Okay, so I think it's at the top here somewhere. Oh, maybe you gotta press up in the middle of it. God damn it. Video games.
Okay. Yeah, that is beyond stupid. Yeah, it's just if it was like some weird foreground obfuscation, I'd be fine with that. It's just when it's just straight up invisible and there's no way that you... Okay, I'm actually kind of curious. Is it... No, it's just that one right there. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, can I... Oh. Oh, I see. I just... Okay. Okay. No, I have it set to fast forward when I'm doing that that bonus stage, just because to speed up some time. Come on, come on. Oh, why don't I just do this? Not to be fancy. Oh, and it does actually speed up. I believe it's depending upon what your total coin count is. Okay, that's not gonna work. Oops. It's not gonna work. No, I rewind. That's just because, I like to. I kind of like to show off all of the games that I'm taking a look at, and I sometimes suck at video games, so that's why I have to rewind. Just to ensure that we can actually see all of this. Oh, goddammit. Oops. Try not to play like a complete idiot, but... And also, thank you for the sub, Marsh. Oh, that's not a thingy.
That's a death bit, yeah.
See, the problem also is once the camera's on, my ability to play video games decreases about 200%. So I like to have insurance.
My favorite is when you go in expecting it to be really difficult or hard, and then it turns out it's okay. And you're like, oh, alright, cool, I made a big deal out of this in front of people, and it really wasn't. I kind of look like an ass.
Yeah.
Like, I know this thing really, really well, and then 5 seconds in, what was I doing?
Or the, oh sure, this is gonna take X amount of time, and it takes either half that time or twice as long.
Yes. I was playing through Secret Agent Clank, and I only had, like, 2 areas left to go. I was like, alright, well, it's 2 areas, so it's, what, half an hour to an hour. 2 hours later.
See, that's the thing that it's the, oh, hey, that's like when we did Gumple yesterday, that I was concerned, I'm like, yeah, okay, there's 2 hours, except each of these levels was taking like 30 minutes. But the last level, that thing could either be extremely short or extremely long.
Right, yeah.
Okay, course 11.
Or even just like the whole nostalgia factor. You're like, oh yeah, I remember this being super amazing, and you're all gonna love this. And then 30 minutes in, you're like, why did I like this?
Yeah, it's like one of the last LP projects I ever did before I completely gave up on doing just traditional LPs was to do look at games on the Famicom Disk System. And then I realized, hey, that means I have to play all these games, and boy, howdy, do some of these suck. Which is why this format is so much better for doing that kind of stuff.
Because you could just be like, alright, well, I've seen everything I need to see of this. I can give my verdict on it overall as a product, and then I can never look at it again. Unless some asshole decides to invalidate it and force me to play it again.
Yeah. Well, there's some that... I don't mind if people, like... The things that I only get annoyed about, like, and this hasn't really happened, is that if someone invalidates something that you really only have one way of playing. Like, say, if someone were to invalidate, Legend of Zelda. If someone were to invalidate that, I could at least go through the second quest. Because I only showed the first quest off.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could show off a different port of the game, so to speak. Oh, is it one? It's one of these things.
Yeah. Or how many times Torpid's gonna try to invalidate Trio the Punch.
Oh, he's not. He knows that that's... Just saying, there are things about that is going to make that less of an issue.
Because thinking about the invalidation thing, I would think the best way for anybody, not just us who are on voice chat, but those who are watching to invalidate, is wait for like the list to be populated with more stuff that goes above it, and then that way, when we revisit it, we have a larger breadth of stuff to base it off of. Because some of these went up on the list at the early beginning, where there wasn't a whole lot of variety to really compare it to.
Yeah. Well, that's... Oh, I see. Huh.
Yeah, so if you feed them in their basket, they'll just dump shitloads of coins on you.
Okay, that's neat. Now, so I've been teasing the fact that I'm making changes to the list in a way that I'm not sure exactly how people might take to it, but it's a different kind of thing.
All right.
But one of the things that it does is that it highlights more games that it's been a while since we've taken a look at it.
Okay.
So that they'll be like more visible.
Because weren't you trying to get away from the numerical aspect of the ranking and focusing more on the quality of the game?
Yes. That is, it is, I shouldn't say complete total, like, complete, abandonment of the, like, putting it, giving it a number. It is more that it is, think less... What?
You did a thing. Good job.
Okay.
Now you can drink your tea.
It's less, focused on the individual number and more focused on the tier.
Right. Because with a list like this, it's going to be almost impossible to not have numericals, because then you're going like, well, the top of the list is clearly the better of the list, and the bottom list is kind of the lower portion of it.
Well, also, because the thing, like, you always get the thing when you're doing a list like this that there is, depending upon the thing, that there's no reason to play games that are like, why play 2 when you can play 1? Which isn't what I'm going for with this thing. It's more, that's like, hey, this is really good. Because, like I'd say, some of my favorite games, I would say, are like in that, like maybe upper indigo, so to speak, if you're using strict rainbow.
Like, I know why you did it, but y'all put Link's Awakening below Link to the Past, and I vehemently disagree with that decision. However, that's what we came to the consensus to. However, if we went strictly by, like, not even worrying about the placement of it in that tier, but just saying, what tier does this belong in? And then forgetting about the other games in that tier. I could see that being a lot better.
That is essentially what it's going to kind of be, but I'm still... I don't want to go too much into the detail of it because I'm still working that stuff out.
No, I understand. Because I think part of what gets us a little too locked up when we do the ranking aspects of these games is we get so hung up on, well, is this better or worse than A or B? And I feel like that kind of gets in the way of really, I guess what you were trying to go for with this series is not to show what's better or worse, but where do these really fall in line in terms of themselves? Are they really great games, or are they just really terrible but interesting to kind of see?
Yes.
I think that's kind of what you're going for.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot more... That aspect's going to be a little bit more explicit with the new list.
Right. See, now this is where the dragon hat would come in handy.
But I can still mash that out.
Oh yeah, you're mashing it pretty good, but like if you had dragon hat, that would make it a lot easier.
I feel it. Oh.
It is interesting, though, to have seen the, congratulations, you won.
Okay.
To see the list go through all the changes that it's gone through since I started doing, Triple R.
Well, I was gonna say it even goes back to ranking response.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that one, but... So I can really only go by...
Not a whole lot. That's a really old one. I started that in 2017? Yeah,
and I think you started this in 2018, right?
I started this yes. May 4th, 2018. I'm glad that I picked to start it. I'm glad that I did it on a fake holiday so that I can actually remember that.
On a fake holiday?
May 4th.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember the first episode had Dark Forces and Super Star Wars.
I mean, you say it's a fake holiday, but you know it's eventually some nerd's gonna become the president and make it a national holiday. That is bound to happen. We'll get off work for Star Wars Day.
We'll get off work for Star Wars before we get off for voting.
Yeah, that's the saddest part.
When Star Wars Episode 20 comes out. No, Ranking Response was the earliest.
No, it'll be on Star Wars 69 because you have to have it on a nice day.
Oh, there's a key.
Well, Tia, by that time, we'll definitely have national rules that say all retail workers and part-timers get to have holiday pay.
I'm gonna come back to this.
I think you missed it during the lava sequence. You know that part where you went across, drop down, then go back left, then drop down, go right, and you had that block hit sitting there? I think that was the key.
Yeah.
Because that one requires, like, precise timing to get.
Okay. Oh, it requires bowl. Okay. Now, ranking shmups I did, basically... Because I was looking for something to just do for streams, because before I was just a, hey, I'm just gonna go stream this because I feel like it. And then Giant Bomb came out with Ring of Fighters, and I thought that was a neat idea.
Right. And then you chose shmups.
Yeah, I chose shmups because it was a genre that had a whole lot of games in it that I enjoy. Because I could do... I mean, obviously they did Ranking Fighters, but also I wasn't that into fighters at the time.
Well, you did, 300 different games?
There were 300 when we stopped doing Ranking Response and started Rank Rhapsody, there was 300, exactly.
Jesus. And I'm sure there's still more that you could have done.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty. But the thing is that with the games that I had listed, I would be basically just getting down to like the very nitty-gritty of like the very basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I need something different, and that's why I came up with this.
And then you started adding, you know, lore and mascots.
Then I started lore and mascots because I'm looking for something, a creative outlet, so to speak.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And adds a little extra flavor to it.
Yep.
And soon, you know, you'll be doing voices for them, and they'll be joining us for different streams. It'll become a whole production. And then there'll be puppets.
Look, I would say I would make fun of someone like, oh, hey, I don't think going puppets a bit too far, but by the way, a good YouTube series that you should find out or look at is The Oracle. That is kind of gaming with puppets.
Like, I'm not making fun of the idea. I'm just like, I'm starting to picture this becoming a full-on, like, Sesame Street level production with Jim Henson puppets of all your characters.
That is when I somehow make it big on Patreon that it makes me more money than my day job does.
Yeah. Because as I am saying it kind of jokingly, it does sound kind of like something fun. Like, you know who Benny Fitz is?
I think I've heard the name, but I'm not super familiar with their work.
It's a little blue puppet. I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be. It's like
I think I saw a video of that, like, today.
And they, quote-unquote, play games, and it's just a puppet talking.
Yeah.
As someone plays games, and I could see it being something like that. See, Tia wants to voice a character. I'd totally be down.
See, here's the problem, is that I actually have an application that I could do of that relatively recently, or soon. I mean, I say that, but one of the... I'm probably going to be announcing exactly what it is shortly, but there's going to be something coming up with the kind of a, not big change, but a change to how I do Fridays.
Okay.
Because I am doing a different format for episodes.
Got my interest.
Yeah. There's basically going to be not a new show, but a new way. There's going to be 2 new lists, and they're going to be ranked in a different fashion because when I announce what it is, you'll see why I can't show it. And I think I've basically gone ahead and teased it, basically looking at movies and show based on video games.
That's fine. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Well, the thing is that that's not something I can so much... I mean, I will be streaming the recordings of it, but I'm not going to... I can't show, like, the actual movies.
Oh, right, yeah, no.
So, yeah, that's going to be primarily an audio thing.
Well, you know what we could do? Is we could, Be Kind Rewind it.
I mean, it'll be in a way like, it's because, again, me doing shows that because I got inspired by something from Giant Bomb, them doing All System Goku, and also me listening to a bunch of stuff on Maximum Maximum Fun, like those podcasts on that network, where they have like movie and show things. And as someone who listens to a lot of podcasts at work, like, I just want to try something in the podcasting medium that's kind of an extension of the show, but not something to replace it, so to speak.
Right. Oh no, that'll be interesting to do.
Yes, and actually the first episode of that is going to be recorded November 1st.
And it wouldn't be MST 3K'ing it unless they were riffing on it.
Yeah, I mean, at one point that would be interesting to do with, something, but, that's not going to be for a while. Oh, I see.
Yeah, here's your secret. Okay, so Tia just wants us to make fun of their streams. So, I guess that's that's one of the next sub goals is making fun of Tia's streams.
Well, that's not exactly what. I'm not.
I know.
In the vein of Rhapsody, because that is a road to disaster.
Oh yeah. No. But if you, even then, like, no, you wouldn't want to do old Rhapsody. You'd want to do like the new stuff where they look at like the bad games.
That insanity.
Yeah, the Dahiran shot nonsense. Like, you don't want to be back in the Proteus days. Those were terrible days.
Yeah, that is the exact kind of content that I especially wanted this channel to avoid.
Right, yeah.
Like, that is one of the things, like, it's something that, I mean, when we get to certain games, it becomes very apparent, but I very much intended for this series to be very lighthearted in terms of, like, poking fun at, like, I mean, games are kind of, like, sometimes they're bad, but they could still have neat stuff in them.
Right. You're leaning more educational with this, and then there's just like, oh yeah, but we're gonna goof on some of this stuff.
Yes.
Originally, Dahir InShot filed takedowns, and then those got overruled, and the videos came back. Yeah, no, like there's some MST3K stuff that's definitely not mean-spirited, and then some of it where it's just like, you tried.
Yeah, that is very, yeah.
Which is why I kind of refer to current day Rhapsody stuff where they stopped doing other people's LP or other people's channels and focused on actual LPs, because that's when they stopped doing things. Because even they were like, nah, it's getting too personal. People are attacking these people. It's not funny. Plus, we're running out of material too. So then they start doing games, and that's where it gets less personal and kind of takes more of that lighthearted, ribbing, like, haha, this is kind of garbage, right? Like, Quiet Man and all the memes that it spawned.
The only thing about that I try and avoid is the thing that is basically I do not want to focus on quote-unquote bad stuff, because
right.
The thing is, I've seen, for at least this from what I have experienced, channels that seem to focus on the more like, oh hey, look, in this terrible kind of stuff, that is basically I'm trying to think of what the term is, but it's basically you are creating your own demise. Well, not demise, but basically it's the thing, like, it's like why you never do a Minecraft video, unless you want to play Minecraft, and that's it.
Right, yeah, it's kind of like how Bears kind of accidentally set himself up to be a Souls-like channel.
Well, I mean, he also likes those.
He likes them, yeah, too, but it's kind of like, that's kind of what you're saying is, if you go for a specific brand of content, you're going to be doing that brand of content, because that's the crowd that you bring in.
Also, is he shooting shot at me?
I think.
Also, am I hurt? Like, no, I don't think I'm hurting it, because it's not...
I think you hit throw the snot balls back at him.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta, like...
Oh, I see.
Bump. Yeah, there you go. Got it.
Well, it's not so much like doing I mean, I was at some point just doing shmups, so I kind of became the shmups guy. The thing about it is that it's especially, like, if you do, like, bad stuff, or, like, stuff, too, that is specifically bad to, like, see if you can out. Because at that point, you are just trying to do nothing but that and that. And the thing is that that's fine every once in a while, but if you're doing
you don't want to be stuck in that rut.
Yeah, because if you do that constantly, then you're you're gonna burn yourself out.
Well, the other thing, too, is that also doesn't fit into your personality. You are not the kind of person who sits around dunking on anyone or anything. You're pretty laid back, and you're more into, like, the nuts and bolts. Like, why does this work this way? Why does this look this way? Who made it? what happened to them. Like you're interested in the game and all aspects of it. So going into and focusing entirely on bad games completely goes against your brand and you as a person, really.
Yeah, that's definitely not my...
That's a key part of it.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is, as much as I've enjoyed stuff like that, like, look at Jim Sterling. I used to enjoy his stuff a lot, but it's the same thing. It's just anger all the time. It's dunking on this, it's dunking on that, and it's exhausting. Yeah.
Well, also, there's other things in that as well.
Yeah, and that's an aside to what we're talking. Yeah, aside the point. And even on my end, I usually like dunking on stuff, but then after a while, you just get exhausted, and you want to do, like, doing Time and Eternity was funny for, like, the first couple of streams, and then by the end of it, I actually really started to become, like, get stressed out before streaming, because I knew I'd have to subject myself to something that wasn't enjoyable, and it put stress on me, so, like, I could totally see not wanting to do that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Whereas here, we've got this really nice mix of here's stuff that's really horrible, and there's stuff that's actually pretty damn good. And then, this is, aggressively mediocre, but, it's a nice variety of titles.
Yeah, like, that's also one of the other things that because the thing that I was trying to think of is because I was trying to elaborate on, like, what I would consider, like, what are generic tiers of video game quality? And I was trying to think, like, what, like, if you're thinking about, like, the stuff that you'd find in the red on my stuff, like, what games constitute that?
Well, easy one would be Jaws on the NES.
Well, actually, Jaws ended up, Jaws, I think, ended up, like, in the yellow, maybe green?
Okay.
I'm thinking, like, the red, like, the really bad stuff.
Oh, then, I would say, from my personal perspective, I don't know where it is on the list, but Friday the 13th on NES, or, Akuji turned into orange, and I actually like that game, but,
the thing that I was more thinking of was, like, what could you categorize it as? Because I'm thinking, like, well, you've got games, like, if I'm thinking of, like, the Dex list, you got games like, well, not just Dex list, but if you're thinking of games like Tower Juwaga, Genpai Tomaden, the thing is, like, those are kind of what I call fascinating nightmares.
That's actually a pretty good gaming convention for that.
Because it's like, I can't say this game is good. Like, I don't even recommend that anyone, like, explicitly play it. But take a look at it. Because something's going on.
So if you had the bullhorns, you could have attached yourself to that conveyor belt and crossed over that way.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying. It's like, if we're looking at the tiers less in terms of not so much quality, but just like the overall experience, like everything at the top tiers, you would recommend it, and you consider this something that is essential to anybody playing games who want to experience this. And then at the bottom, you could argue is, don't play this, but if you want to look at it, you should, because it's, ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like the complete opposite of the spectrum, like the good stuff. Because the thing that I've kind of realized is something that I thought about, because naturally I brought over the ranking of shmups list into this. The thing is, though, is that a lot of the ones that we did at high tier and that, I don't know if I could really say that they're kind of, you must play these, because they're, like, I'm thinking, like, I have Mushihime-sama in the Mastercraft thing.
Right.
Because it is, I think, one of the best shmups that Cave ever did. The problem is that game is nigh unapproachable if you are not good at bullet hells.
Right.
So, at the same time, it is, like, a really high-quality thing, but
you can only recommend it to, like, a handful of people.
Yeah.
So if we were to look at the list from a more generic viewpoint, like, could you recommend this game to anybody? Or could you only recommend this game to... Because that would change the list dramatically.
And that is one of the things that I'm looking to do. Not to dramatically change the list, but that kind of concept.
Right. Because arguably, right now, we're just looking at games as in, which of these games is better than all the others?
Yeah, like, kind of like, we're like, if you got this list, and, like, okay... Like, one of the other things, like, I know that there are other, like, there is, Hardcore Gaming 101 has their top 47k games, list, where they're doing kind of what we're doing, although I should say they technically did theirs first.
Right.
I didn't realize that they were doing it when I made this.
Yeah. And don't forget that there's a scientific.
Yeah, there's the scientific, yeah, there's, yeah. But they have one list for everything. But they also factor something that we don't, which is legacy. It is why it is why, from what they're kind of looking at, it is why NetHack is 2 on that list. Which
right.
When I inevitably get to NetHack, I can guarantee you it is not going to show up 2 on our list. But I agree that it should be 2 because of how important that game is.
I don't think I've ever played NetHack, to be honest.
It is exceedingly old. It's also a thing about it. It is, if you're playing I don't want to be purist, but essentially a real version of it, it is all in ASCII. It is almost it is like, think of like Dwarf Fortress, except not nearly as complicated.
Right. It's that level of old.
Yes. But it's still kind of playable today, even.
So I have a question. Where do you stand on ranking MUDs?
MUDs?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be completely against it.
I feel like that would be very hard to do.
I can see... That's the thing, I can definitely see some people not liking Adventure Lolo. Like, that is one thing, like, I do not get bothered by people that say that they don't like the game. Because I know that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Ooh, what kind of door is that?
Puzzle games are always going to be the hardest ones.
Well, especially that kind of puzzle game.
Yeah, Lolo it's a good game, but at the same time, the pieces that it has working can be a bit... I'm trying to think of the right way of saying it, and I'm not having a good time coming up. But you know what I'm getting at. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah. Also, it is oh great, there's a cape. It's also a thing where you gotta be in the mood to play that kind of game. Now, I would say, like, cause, like, not push block puzzle games, but like falling block puzzle games, those are a lot more approachable because of just how...
Because you're using spatial logic immediately versus using all different types of logic and creating sort of like a step-by-step chain on how to solve something. There's a huge difference between those two types of thinking. Or even going further than that, Baba Is You, which requires an extreme amount of lateral thinking to solve. Versus Tetris, which just requires you to go, okay, can I just stack all these pieces on top of each other? All right, we're good to go.
It's essentially the difference between turn-based and real-time strategy.
Right.
Because, like, if you're thinking about Civ versus a RTS, they require completely different mindsets.
Yeah.
And they
like
favor completely different types of, like... If you're good at one, you're not necessarily going to be good at the other. You're not prevented from being bad at either of them, but...
There's a small bit of crossover between the two of them in terms of knowledge you want. But overall, yeah, no, an RTS is a different type of beast than a 4X or
Yeah, because there is, like, even the, like, yeah, falling blocks, sometimes, like, even within a game itself, like, they have two different kind of things, like we're looking at Tetris 3D for the Virtual Boy on Friday. There's a puzzle mode in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires a completely different thing because you're trying to build up a shape as compared to, like, trying to get points in, like, a thing that's constantly falling. Like, there you have all the blocks you're gonna have, practically, you can see them. So you're trying to, before you even start, you can kind of like, okay, I see this is gonna have to go to here, this is gonna have to go here, this is gonna have to go here. We're missing a shitload of treasures. But, yeah. It's actually something else because I've also been kind of I have been looking at the lists themselves and how I categorized, made each of the categories.
Because I know there's at least one category where we really do need to kind of get some more in there.
Yeah, and it's, well, there's a way that I'm going to be handling that, and it's not going to be adding more to the list. It's going to be changing the definition.
Okay.
Because yes, we have, what, 5 games in the luck category?
Yeah. And, like, let's be honest here, we're not going to be sitting here playing, you know, blackjack games and fucking gambling stuff or anything like that. And there's not that many, I wouldn't say there's many dice-based kinds of old-school games out there that you could go by. Obviously I'm taking it quite literally, but...
Yeah, that list is not exactly... Also, yeah, it's not something that I've hit the point where I'm just playing this game on autopilot, and it's driving me in circles.
I think you want to keep going to the left.
Okay. No, but,
and just keep going.
Yeah, because it's the kind of thing, like, especially also the int category is one that I am thinking about changing.
Well, see, that's the other thing about this show too. Is it's not just the game itself. It's about the conversations that the game leads to, and sometimes that is outside of the game itself.
Yeah, it's in like okay, here we go.
Yeah. Also, sometimes the game is just so bad that you can't talk about it. Not in this case, but we've had plenty of times where the game's so fucking bad.
I mean, also, I'm naturally going to get lost, so that's not...
Yeah.
It is the thing to prevent dead air.
Yeah. Because there's literally not that... You can't fill 2 hours completely on every single game. Like, you're gonna run out of stuff. Like, what else can we say about Wario at this point? You know, the graphics are good. You only really need the jet hat. That's the only hat you need. The enemy designs are neat. For the most part, trying to find treasures is pretty intuitive and fun, and you feel smart when you figure it out. And other times they hide shit behind a waterfall like jerks. And then what do you do after you've said all that? And that's when the other conversations start.
Yeah. It is the 2-hour mark when we're doing a game, just one game per stream, roughly.
Right. And even when we're doing multiple games per stream, there comes a point in the game where you run out of facts and trivia and interesting tidbits, and you just kind of talk about anything else.
Yeah, like... I tend, like, if I'm doing just a bunch of games and there's still a conversation, I'm trying to actually explain stuff, then I am not a huge fan of it, but...
Yeah, no.
If it's at this point, it's like, hey, it needs to be a pirate ship level.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, and I totally agree. Like, the two things that get me are excessive crosstalk, when people just, like, keep talking over each other and, like, you can't parse anything. And the other is getting off topic when you don't need to.
Yeah.
See it, and now we're in a tree. It's exciting because you're climbing. And oh shit, there's a bird. And it's a chunky bird. It's got some fully coolie eyebrows.
Let's see. Oh, I see.
Yeah, just toss shit back at him.
There we go. Come on.
Look, Tia, I don't come to your house and explain pirate ships to you, okay?
Damn it. Damn it. There we go. Well, I mean, the thing about talking about the legacy is also the fact that we'll be doing the legacy at some other point.
Right. And to be fair, the legacy of the Wario games, I argue, doesn't extend beyond the Wario games. Yeah, we got Wario and we got WarioWare, but that hasn't really... I personally would argue that none of this has really touched anything outside of its own franchise.
Yeah, because the thing with also this game is that at this point, I mean, outside of a few mechanical changes, this is essentially a Mario game.
Right.
Yeah, it's the later games that actually really change up the formula.
Yeah, once it's 2, then it's like its own beast, which is a fascinating thing.
It's a really cool puzzle platformer.
But if you even look at 2 onwards and look at, WarioWare, they haven't really changed or created entirely new genres. Like, the micro game kind of thing happened with the Game & Watch well before WarioWare. And then the Wario games themselves are, they're competent platform games, but they didn't do anything so revolutionary that they changed the platforming genre. So I personally would argue that the Wario legacy is contained exclusively within the Wario franchise.
And to be fair, you could argue literally the same with Mario games. They didn't invent the platformer franchise or change it up, they just did it better.
Yeah. I would say that Mario Brothers 1 was probably the only time that they actually were, like, truly revolutionary. Well, maybe 64.
No, even then it was still just a solid... Yeah, 64, I could argue. I could argue
well,
that.
if you think about the platformers that out at, like, in 85, when the original came out, you had Pitfall, you had Pac-Land. No other game did the platformer like the original Mario Brothers.
But even then, like, Mario has managed to do all different kinds of stuff. It has its own mini-game series, it had... ton of
Wario also has its own minigame series.
Right, yeah. No, but I'm saying, like, it's done more than that. Like, it's got its own minigame series. Like
I don't understand the argument here. What the point?
Well, you're not letting me finish, is kind of the thing.
Alright.
So, you've got, like, the Olympics-based stuff, and you've got all those things with the minigames, and then you've got, Mario RPG, the Paper Mario series, the Mario and Luigi series, where they blended their platforming sensibilities with RPG sensibilities and puzzles. So Mario's done a lot more in terms of not just its own franchise, but, having more of an effect on other franchises as well, was Wario's still just stayed within Wario. And that's my argument.
Yeah, we were talking about, like, the legacy of the game itself, like, whether or not it was, like, the part of, like, the 5th branch of, like, an ongoing discussion we had.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd still argue there's nothing quite like Wario Lands 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, that's definitely there. Which is actually kind of the shame about the legacy is the fact that it didn't have as much of an impact.
Yeah.
Because it would have been interesting if their games reached out beyond.
I would be incredibly surprised if Wario Land 1 was not on at least the 3DS one.
I'd argue WarioWare, though, is at least a little bit more far-reaching.
Yeah,
also, that's a nice coin count you got there.
Yeah, WarioWare is phenomenal. I'm just glad the fact that I have the fact that it is a technicality that this is part of the Mario franchise that I could do WarioWare in this program. Because I'm also debating myself with, does the GBA count in terms of retro?
I would say so.
Because in a technical sense, it is part of the generation that had the PS2 and the Xbox, like whatever number that is, which doesn't count. It was released after 2000, which doesn't count that part. But it essentially is a handheld SNES.
Yeah, as I say, it's a glorified SNES.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I mean,
like a slightly better color palette, and also dog shit speakers.
Yep.
no, those are the best speakers ever, where everything's just tinny and
Titty and fucking awful.
See,
just a little, just that right level of muted where you think that maybe the console just broke and you need to get it fixed.
Yeah.
GBA speakers are some of the fucking worst.
I just remember my favorite being the Game Boy Pocket.
Like, it's also phenomenal. Like, if you think back about how terrible the original Game Boy Advance model was.
Okay, but how about the Game Boy Micro?
I like the Game Boy Micro.
It was terrible! No, fuck you!
I mean, you
It
have
felt
massive,
awful
like, massive hands, probably.
I have big boy hands, yes.
I have tiny doll hands, so the smaller the better.
But I get to play it, and it looks like an NES controller. No, that wasn't even required. Oh, right.
I can't stand the Micro in my big boy hands.
I mean, it wasn't the best SKU of the GBA, but it was better than the original, that's for sure.
SP was incredible, though.
Yeah,
I love the SP except for the fact that it was just a nightmare to hold because after like an hour your hands start to cramp and it's just jamming into your palms.
Yeah, it was a fucking square, which was bad.
Yeah. And it was a small square, which was worse.
It was also incredible because it was the first console of theirs to include the backlight, which was huge.
Yep. You know, actually, now that I say that, it's technically not counting, but also, I'm counting the Neo Geo Pocket Color on here, which I'm pretty sure also came out after 2000, and was in the same thing as the Dreamcast, though.
Okay, but Game Gear.
I mean, Game Gear definitely counts. Like, that's... Like, I mean, it is...
I'm just saying more, I want to see some Game Gear stuff on here.
Well, because here's the thing with the Game Gear, is that there wasn't any really neat game... Like, we did Tales Adventure, which is probably the best game... Well, yeah, that's probably the best Game Gear
no,
exclusive.
it is.
Because the thing is that every other game that's good, that's on the Game Gear, it's also on the Master System. With the exception,
And also you could... I believe you could also take Genesis games and slap them into the Game Gear and just play them.
No, it was the Nomad that you could do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, the Nomad was a portable Genesis.
Also, the Game Gear had incredibly terrible battery life.
Yeah, no, six double A's and they're done in an hour. Screw you.
Well, it wasn't so much that it had had terrible battery life. It was the fact that everything other than the Game Boy had terrible battery life.
Yeah.
What was that thing?
That is the Dragon Hat.
That is unfortunate.
Yep. See, you really gotta have balls to use the Dragon Hat.
Oops.
Also, I personally argue the DS was better than the GBA.
Oh yeah, I would definitely...
That's not even like an arguable point.
No, I still think the best use of the two screens was 999.
Are you sure? Because I feel like
Game Gear. Oh, I mean, there was yeah. Because now that I think about it, there's Game Gear Shinobi.
I feel like that one puzzle from Phantom Hourglass.
Fuck Phantom Hourglass. The game sucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that you have to.
It's the best use
No,
of the
999 has a huge thing that I cannot spoil.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I would argue that Hotel Dusk also has the best use of it, but I can't say that as well.
Hotel Dusk was amazing, and the way that they did it was
That
awesome.
is the one game that I might shoehorn somehow into getting that on here, because that is the game that I would normally have said that I do not like classic style adventure games. Hotel Dusk is my one.
Hotel Dusk is so good. It's a shame that I've been playing it in the worst way possible, which is I only play it on planes.
Why are you like this?
So I've been playing through it because I don't really like handhelds that much.
Well, could we make the argument that, because I'm pretty sure Flower, Sun, and Rain can count because it was originally on the PC and then got ported over to hold on.
(2001).
That doesn't count.
It was also originally on the PS2.
That also doesn't count.
Oh, I thought it was on PC originally.
It was, but it's 2001. The cutoff's 2000.
The silver case, though, does count.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
PS1 game.
Yeah, so Silver Case actually, I think the Silver Case is the precursor to Flower, Sun, and Rain. So technically, you could do Silver Case, then Flower, Sun, and Rain. And then I could you make the argument then that you use that as a launch point for Hotel Dusk?
No, that's because that's completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, they're unrelated.
Yeah, Sing is its own thing, so... And their first game was on the DS itself. Oh, come here. Oh, come on. There. Oh. Yeah.
Finally, it's time to do Never 7, then Ever 17, Remember 11 and 12 Ribbon, Code 18, and then 999. Let me tell you about Uchikoshi's history of games.
Yes, those were hedgehog enemies. Oh,
Also, I'm
double.
just related to 999, I've been playing AI the Somnium Files, and it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Their Uchikoshi works. That's why it's related. Let me tell you about my love of Uchikoshi.
Isn't that the that nightlight that Bob gets from his daughter Louise?
Shut the fuck up.
Ah, I too love Coochie Kopi.
I have actually never played them, Elsie.
I played 999, and you have to play it through multiple times to get the true ending, which is not something I'm fond of. Just let me get my ending.
To be fair, AI the Somnium Files does it well in that each route is its own distinct thing.
Yeah.
Which they've done. Like 999 was the only one of the Zero Escape series specifically that really did the. You're replaying through the same fucking content over and over just to get a different ending. The LR on each one was pretty distinct.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that technically you also have to beat Hotel Dusk twice in order to get the best ending. Which that one's great because that game's like 35 hours long.
But it's also
It's some of the most interesting puzzles I've ever seen on the 3DS. On the DS, excuse me.
I like the fact that one of the puzzles, like, if it was great
just
that
close the DS.
That was
that was the
puzzle
that was the
that I was
Phantom
going to refer to.
That was the Phantom Hour puzzle was
So, for the longest time, it was a fucking nightmare to emulate because of that one puzzle.
The other one that I thought was great because it's like you would not think about it if you knew how resistor touchscene worked, because it is something that you had to.
I am so sorry, Elsie. I am so very sorry.
Yeah, you had to press 2 points. You had to essentially treat the DS touchscreen as a multi-touch, even though you cannot do that in a resistive.
Huh.
No, Hotel Dusk did a lot of really interesting shit with the DS.
Well, it's kind of that one puzzle's like Phantom Hourglass, The Legend of Zelda. There's a crest on a map, and you gotta get it onto your map. So what do? You open that map, and then it opens your map, and then you just close it. But you've never had to do that ever before in the game, so people were stuck on this puzzle for days, not knowing what the fuck to do.
Yeah, see, Hotel Dusk at least has the luxury of it's always doing shit with its puzzles, so you kind of expect something to go on.
Yeah.
That is also another thing. It reminds me of another series that I'm also kind of bummed would not count. That's the Professor Layton series.
Yep, that's a really good series.
Professor Layton
Level
series.
5 in general does really good shit.
Yeah, Professor Layton is the only franchise that I can think of that has almost made me cry during a game.
Huh.
Man, let me tell you about AI the Somnium Files and how I fucking cried last night. It was great.
So I get the feeling that you like this game called the AI the Somnium Files.
Yes.
I know, right? Well, it caught me by surprise, because, what is it? Zero Time Dilemma kinda sucked.
Hmm. I mean, there's been plenty of times in games that made me cry. Actually, fairly recently was Borderlands 3. Because Tales from the Borderlands has a plot line in the 4th episode that really sucked and made me cry. And then it gets referenced very directly in Borderlands 3, and the moment I caught it, I actually started crying.
LZ, that is a dark hole to go down.
Don't go into Fate.
See, yeah,
It's a dangerous.
yeah, they're already trying to get me to do Fate somehow.
I mean, you're already watching one show.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would you try to get him into Fate? That's just not nice.
To be fair, the one show we're watching is kind of background shit and has nothing to do with the main series. Mostly.
It's like
It's actually really good.
It's like saying, "Hey, we're friends. How about this isekai you should watch?" This is,
I mean,
you don't do that.
I've already made him watch an isekai.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
horrible.
And the fact that through a loophole, I technically could do a game based on it.
It's actually really good.
It is actually
Really good.
As someone who is not a huge anime person, the show we're talking about, which is Konosuba, whatever the hell the full title is, but
It's Konosuba.
yeah,
It's
Konosuba.
God's blessing on this wonderful world.
It is actually a pretty, like, I would not say it's my favorite anime by any stretch, but the game that it's based on is actually really good.
Fate is where all the historical figures are hot anime waifus.
Yes.
Actually, no. It
Well-
depends upon. It depends upon which
They could-
part of Fate
Okay,
you're
let
looking at.
me rephrase it. Fate is horny.
Yes, that I will agree with. Considering the series started as Eroge games.
Yeah.
Though granted, that was more or less a how are you gonna sell this if it's not at the time kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Is bad.
yeah, it is. Like, that was before even the part of. Because the thing is, like, there was the whole, like, oh, there's, like, porn with plot in it. Like, Yuno was not part of that. That was just the straight up porn part. Well, I guess actually technically Yuno was plot porn, but.
I'm the plumber, and I'm here to fix your pipes.
I'm the fantasy plumber, and I'm here to travel through dimensions and fix your pipes.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem with that. Also, the thing I hate about Yuno is the fact that, fantastic soundtrack.
You don't know. You just don't know.
It's a really good soundtrack.
It's problem with Ryo Onimoto does really good work, or did really good work, mostly on porn.
You know what? Fucking good on him, I guess. Living his best life. But yeah, no, Fate on the other hand is a case of the plot was a the porn wasn't necessarily evil kind of deal. At least in their eyes. To the point where the porn shit was outsourced. Which is why apparently it is very, very bad.
Yeah, I will say, that is some pretty good art.
Just get the animation company for The Simpsons to do all of your porn.
But yeah, I tried watching the anime and oh, it's not good. Couldn't even get halfway through it, and that was like before the fantasy shit.
Also, the thing is, like, Yuno is just a franchise that I think just has a really good title. Yuno, the girl who chants love at the end of this world. Or it's like...
The end of the world. It's one of those things also where it's really hard to do roots in anime.
Yeah, because it was until Steins Gate came along, none of them could really do it that well. Or Steins Gate, like, did it so well that it kind of made everything else worse by comparison. At least that's what I get. Because I've never actually...
I still prefer the visual novel, personally. That's because I'm trash.
I have never...
I like the art style in the visual novel. It's very unique.
Well, I mean... Did that have roots in the PC 98?
Maybe.
Steins Gate seems like something that would have been started as it's something like Corpse Party, where it started as like an indie thing before, which I did not realize, but we mentioned it earlier, but thanks to the Hardcore Gaming 101 podcast, I did not realize that Corpse Party started out just straight up an RPG Maker game.
Yup. Really fucking old-ass RPG Maker game.
Yeah, RPG Dante. Which is, like, there were ports of that on the SNES.
But, whereas Fate has, for each route, a different fucking anime.
I still have RPG Maker 3 for, PS2.
Yeah, I think I got RPG Maker for, like, the PlayStation. It didn't do a damn thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I do highly recommend the Unlimited Blade Works anime.
That was a very good, you know, cough cough, wink wink.
There are 3 routes in Fate, Tyrion. There's Fate, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel. Unlimited Blade Works is probably the best route, and also the anime is animated by Ufotable, who are absolutely incredible.
Okay, but how does Heaven taste?
It feels like depression and a lot of unfortunate things.
Okay, so my life.
I mean, look, Bag of Magic Food, they are looking for the root. So, I mean...
Shut up.
It's true.
I know it's true. I don't believe you would lie to me about anime.
No, the magic root, you see.
The root of all evil.
Essentially, with fucking Fate.
You can't escape crossing fate.
How many Holy Grail Wars are there?
Depends upon what you mean. It depends upon the timeline.
Okay.
The answer, though, if you were to include them all, would be... I don't know. Like 8.
Okay.
Because you got 1 through 3, you got 4, which is 0, I think, and 5 is...
Oh, Bag, that wasn't a war, that was just a quest.
5 is, FSN. Actually, no, I think it might be like 7. Hollow Ataraxy is a weird one. Just thinking. There's also Apocrypha, then there's Strange Fake, which is a different thing entirely.
No, it didn't turn into a war, it turned into everyone getting arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no real war, it was just like... It was the French... It was the knights against the French castle. But it wasn't really an established war, it was just they were sick and tired of the French being the French.
Okay, but Strange Fake has the US military involved.
Huh.
Because some idiot tried starting a fake Grail War in the middle of the city. In the US.
As you do.
With a terrible name! I forget what the name of the city was, but it was, very good.
Virginville?
Man, I don't know why, but that just reminded me of that the town that someone made a thread of a while ago, and I forgot what the name of the town was. The one that is the fake German one.
Oh yeah, they posted all those pictures.
Yeah.
That was Moth Dad.
Yeah, I mean he was the person who posted it, but it wasn't. I'm trying to think what the name of the town was.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
wasn't Helen, it was... Yeah, because Helen's one of them. What's the name that... It's gonna bug me.
Leavenworth?
Leavenworth, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I found the thread. The Krampus Cave.
Ah, that's right. This city in Strange Fake is Snowfield.
That just reminds me of the town in Earthbound that was just called Snowman.
Don't you mean Winters?
No, there was a Earthbound Zero.
Oh, okay. I didn't play that one.
You didn't need to. That is going to be... I'm still thinking about how I need to do RPGs. Because that...
I mean,
That is going to be...
Earthbound
in the series is a fascinating game that can be mighty pain to play, actually.
Actually, my suggestion would be play it through on your own time and get to the parts that you think are interesting and save state at them.
That's kind of what I was thinking of, but that requires work.
Yeah. Or just play it as normal until you feel that we've seen all we need to see.
See, the problem is that's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Not making this easy, Lozo.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, you can't just say, like, oh, there's one in Tucson, and like, okay, that's 10 hours so far, let's...
And then 3, it is its own thing.
Yeah, 3 I've never actually played. I've just seen key bits of it.
3 is the Zambos.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me, Lolo. Strange Fake crosses over with Tsukihime,
Uh-huh.
which is released in 2000.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, that's the version that I'd play, because, yeah.
Just saying, then there's the greater Nasuverse, and
Lots of eggplants.
lots of eggplants, yeah.
Are we talking like actual eggplants, or are we euphemistic eggplants?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know that there's eggplants involved. I can't remember whether or not it's literal or figurative.
Because then my next question would be, are there more eggplants than the Caligula movie? Because that's a lot of eggplant.
Let me tell you about crest worms.
I don't want...
You don't want... I'm not going to.
No.
Also, this feels like a final level.
Like, you lost me at Crest, and then you lost me further with Worms.
Oh, I could lose you so much further, but I'm not gonna do this to this pure Christian stream.
Yes, this is a family stream.
Sure.
We have to keep it
I think I actually just realized that, oh hey, I probably should turn the mature audiences thing on.
Possibly.
I have never turned it on and nobody has told me to, and I don't care.
It's gonna be really...
Weird with... Yeah! Come October, I should probably touch that button.
Yeah. Just play it safe.
Why? What are you doing in October?
That's a secret.
A game that I was planning on until I was planning on doing it until I chickened out.
Look, it's not on the banned list. It is safe.
It's
Super
true.
Great Friend streamed it for 8 hours and didn't get banned.
Well, clearly it's got to have titty in it, otherwise...
Yes.
Oh boy, how'd he do it?
Yes, it does. Also, we played Phantasmagoria, so I think we're safe.
Well, you played the second one.
That one still had... Didn't it?
That one
It had
definitely has plenty
BDSM in it, so I figured that might as well be titty.
Yeah. No, it straight up showed titty. I was just saying at least it wasn't the first one.
No, it wasn't the first one.
Yeah, not in the mood for snuff.
Yeah.
No, this game, I keep saying it's an October Halloween game, because I still classify it as psychological horror.
It just makes me sad because it's the one video game John Hurt was in.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? And he barely plays a role. Aside from, like, narrator.
Yeah. He is essentially, No, actually, that technically was wrong.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like Peter Stormare's character in Until Dawn. That is wrong.
No. That actually has weird plot shit related to it.
Or maybe like the...
Also-
maybe that...
Also,
that-
Until Dawn is actually good, unlike the game I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I have never heard of this game.
There's
Yeah.
a good reason for it.
It's very bad.
Is it worse than Phantasmagoria 1?
No.
No, it's bad, but for different reasons than Phantasmagoria 1.
Also, I forgot that Captain Syrup was in this game, which I shouldn't have because, you know, it was Syrup Castle.
Behold this chufty lad!
Okay. I need to deal with...
Got to throw it higher, I think.
You need to throw it at the fireballs?
Oh, there you go.
Oh! Then you need to hit him. You need to bounce on him.
Yeah.
Oh, like, just straight up that.
Which is the point of the cloud.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta jump higher. Wait for him to come close.
Oh, there we go.
There you are. I think you gotta get the lamp sitting upright.
Yeah, you have to have it right side up.
It's like that stupid Link Awakening thing.
Yeah, this is the horses all over again.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, congrats on beating his ass. Well, head, but, you know. A shame you didn't get all the special items.
Nope, I'm probably gonna get the worst ending because of it.
Whereas later games straight up have different routes. Mario, you son of a bitch!
Thanks, bye.
Fuck you, Mario. Eh, whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's how he got his library card.
Man, I feel like there are more effective ways to get a library card. Like causing a sign of the apocalypse.
Just gonna say. You didn't get all the treasures, so you don't get, like, the best ending.
Oh,
I
no.
think.
I think it's just money.
It's always money.
Yeah, it's here.
Look, Wario only lusts for one thing in life, and that is money.
We got a house.
Yeah, this is
So
the best
basically,
you can
different
get.
endings are the kind of building you get.
Yep.
So now we have a nice log cabin, and you know what? I'm okay with this.
Only saps live in log cabins.
Yeah, the worst ending is a birdhouse, and you have to really fuck up to get that. Like, really fuck up.
But yeah, still a pretty solid game, and interesting
Yeah.
that they chose to do Mario Land 3 as this.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking game. I think the later ones get even better as they sort of branch off into their own genre. But I do think this one still holds up. What's happening there?
I don't know why the text is bugging out.
But yeah, I think this game still holds up really well. And I look forward to whenever you do the sequels, because they're very interesting.
Yes.
And to think it all began with a game about a bucket.
Yep. Oh,
That was his first game.
I thought his first game was Land 2.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the bucket thing.
First appeared in
Nope,
Mario
you're
Land
right,
2.
it was 2.
Yep. Oh. Maybe that is
But you know what?
Dave Brooks, because I remember that same typo in Land 2. Maybe it is just named Dave. Just spelled weird.
You know what?
But
At least Miyamoto doesn't hate Wario like he hates Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Which is a shame, because Waluigi deserves his own game.
Yes.
I just like that Waluigi literally only exists so that Luigi had a counterpart for tennis.
Yep.
No, specifically so Wario had a partner.
Ah. Close enough.
And it's just kind of stuck around in all the party games, but exists nowhere else.
If Captain Syrup is Wa Peach, does that make Mona Wa Daisy?
That sounds unfortunate.
What Daisy?
But Daisy just sounds awful. Wapeach, though, sounds unfortunate.
Yeah, but Captain Syrup does look a lot like Pauline.
Wapoline.
Wait, Yuji Horii? Huh.
Yeah, Wapeach is a sound effect.
I just like that the entire ending is him walking back and forth and giving you a thumbs up.
I just want to hear Charles Martinet say, "You're the best." It'd be like in Mario Party, when you keep hitting the button and you hear Waluigi saying you're lousy over and over again, except it's Wario saying you're the best over and over again. Which, man, that was the greatest addition to that series.
Is this soft lock?
Yeah, I think it's soft lock.
No, I thought it fades out.
Oh, please retry.
Okay, so now it's soft locked.
Okay, so let's see. What does it say for here? Oh! Easy missile effect. So yeah, I guess that's that.
It's Wario.
Yep. Let's see, where does it stick us? Okay, just right there.
And then you can go back, get all the treasures, and get the badass mansion that you've always dreamed of.
Yep. Yep, we will not be doing that. So, that is Wario Land 3. So, or not Wario Land 3, Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. So, let's bring this up.
Oh yeah, like Tyrion said, it'll also show you where what levels the treasures are in
Oh, okay.
when you beat the game.
Huh.
Which is neat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not until later games when they start doing the completely different routes with different endings.
Okie dokie. So let's see. This belongs in tech category. So let's see. Let's see. Where do we put?
No, 3 is the one with different routes. I thought.
2 has different routes as well, but I think you have to beat the ending in order to get it.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember which one.
Because Mario Land 2, it's like if you destroy the alarm clock, isn't it, and go back to bed.
Something like that. I don't know. It all kind of blurs together in my mind.
Yeah.
So right off the top of my head, over 6 golden coins.
Because that's the thing. Yeah. Because. I don't know if I'd put it above Land 2, because I felt Land 2 is more like I'm not saying it's going to go much lower, but I'd still think that I like Land 2 just a smidge more.
I don't know. I think I prefer this game personally, but I can understand.
I would still say that because I would be. Really, they're kind of the same. I just kind of remember thinking Land 2. Land 2 is a little shorter, which I think might be a little nicer, because I think that had like one too many levels. Though, to be fair, I did an optional level. But
I feel like Wario Land sticks out more in my memory personally.
That could be. I'm not against putting it above.
Yeah.
But I could definitely do that. I do not think it put it above Donkey Kong 94 though.
Nah, I can understand that.
Yeah, the puzzle elements are pretty nice, and you have, I guess that gives also more replay value. So yeah, I think in between Donkey Kong 94 and Land 2, I think is a good spot for it. Yeah, weird. It's almost like they're very good. Okay, so that's 7.5. That is... Oh, 3. Yeah, and then there's Super Mario Bros. Special. It's 155. 3. Good. And that is definitely a platforming game. Same tone as all the other Mario games. It is still very approachable. Okay. Likes/dislikes.
Soundtrack, I'd say, is the top.
It's also hella charming.
Yeah. You have to do charm. Or should there be something in the love?
I don't know, like, I wouldn't really say I loved anything in particular about this. I like it as a game. I think it's charming and it looks really nice and sounds really nice. Gameplay-wise, I felt it was a bit rough, but I'd say anything that we put is going to go into like. I wouldn't put anything into love.
That works for me. So maybe charm and music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like the gameplay in some areas, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty much similar to Land. Not the same as Land, but very similar. So... Yep. So yeah. I think that is good for Mario Land 3. Let me, before I forget, let me go ahead and,
Why not just hit Control Home?
Because, I need to make sure that Zero Ranger goes right there. Do that. Oh yeah, that's
Numbers.
the other. Going back to changing the list, that is all. The thing is also that I'm going to need to, because this list is actually becoming literally unmanageable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. Okay, there's that. Yep, there's Wario Land. Got this nice little Sonic, or nice little Mario block right here. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that.
The Mario block.
Yep.
Still can't hold a candle to Radiant Silver Gun. The king among kings.
Yep. All right.
God Emperor Radiant Silver Gun.
Yep. All right. So yes, that is going to do it for this episode. So let me go ahead and this. Oop, not that. Okay, let's see So, there you go, from one Nintendo franchise to another. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed watching the stream, you can watch all these episodes as they go on YouTube. I try and have them up 24 hours, but lately it's been usually Sunday afternoon is when I get it up, because I'm aiming to have both Fridays and Saturdays episode up this afternoon, and this episode will be up probably Monday at noon. So there's that. If you're watching this on YouTube and want to watch these episodes be recorded live, you can watch go to my Twitch channel at either twitch.ldp.life or twitch.tv/LoadToPuzzlo. I record these episodes live 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. So yeah, give me a follow. The more follows I get, the more I do have kind of rolling games that I do for that. Yeah, I think next one is Shovel Knight, I think. If we get to 250, which we're at 217, so we'll get there. If you want to keep up to date with the show, you can either follow my personal channel at personal Twitter at LoadToPuzzlo, or the show's Twitter at Hazeltown Story for updates and other fun info and such. You can also join the Discord server by going to discord.ldp.life in your browser. That will take you to Discord, where you can actually take part in polls in various things, as well as chat with the community. There should be a poll going up relatively shortly, because I need to figure out what games we're doing in November. And there is now also Patreon, which there are $2 and $5 tiers. Those go mostly towards hosting costs and also some other various upgrades for the show and other things. So, with that, again, thank you all for watching. Next Friday, this Zelda is BS. And what you take a look at a game that's kind of just referred to as BS The Legend of Zelda. Basically, it's the game that kind of exemplifies the weird kind of peripheral that, like, we looked at the Famicom disk system for the Famicom. The Satellaview is almost kind of a thing like that rather than using discs in order to get games, or cartridges, it used satellite dish information. So it kind of hijacked, if you had a Japanese TV or satellite TV, you can use that to get games. One of them being a remake of the first Legend of Zelda. And it's a very weird thing, because it also has voice acting and, like, pumped in music.
Tell the most important part about the version you're doing, though.
It is fan translated into English using fan dubbing, which always goes well.
Yeah!
You know it's gonna be good.
And we're gonna try and we should be able to do the entire first map in one sitting. So, yes, it also does have different playable characters, because you play as the mascots for Saint Giga, which was the service that Nintendo partnered with to do this.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a kid with a baseball cap and a girl pink or red hair. So,
Obscure shit about even further obscure shit.
yeah.
Exactly.
Didn't realize that thing at the Satellaview actually cost $200 almost.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised given what's involved in it, but also Jesus Christ.
That's providing you also had the tuner, because the tuner itself also I think was like $80. So yeah, that is going to do it. I am pretty sure if he has not already started, let me check.
I see he's setting up because he just got. Yeah, I see him sitting in his chat.
I see. Nope, that's something else. But anyway, Bear should start streaming. I believe he is doing a game. I think it's called Iwanga. I think.
Iwanaga.
Yeah, it's a weird, almost alien soldier kind of looking shmup kind of thing. It's really weird. So I think if you like the stuff that I tend to show, you probably like that. So let's go ahead and rate him. So yeah, and if he's not started, he should be starting incredibly shortly. So just hang on and you can start watching him. So, yep. There you go. So thank you all for watching and have a good night.